I have a mess in my apartment again. I look around and I see stacks of paper left out when I attempted to clear out old files, old mail that needs to be shredded, bed sheets that need washing, bins that need to be emptied, unfinished projects, artwork that needs to be wrapped and put away, cleaning supplies when I tried to clean that one day. I'm practically 43 years old. How is this still a problem for me? To understand why I'm here, I have to start from the beginning. I'm a second-generation immigrant, which means that my parents were born in another country and came here to the US at some point in their lives. Gender stereotypes exist, and like many cultures, cooking, cleaning, and caretaking were part of a woman's role. But when I was younger, I resented it. One day, I will have someone to do the cleaning for me, I would say to my ama. I'm not meant to be in the kitchen at all. How could it be possible that her eldest daughter would grow up not wanting to cook nor clean for her husband nor future family? Maybe it was that assimilation process I was trying to embrace. Maybe I just hated cooking and cleaning. Maybe it was a little bit of both. I also come from a large extended family of strong and loving individuals, but individuals who experienced challenges that stemmed from intergenerational abuse, trauma, loss, and poverty. But let's face it, nowadays the majority of us have been exposed to some form of trauma, whether lived through or vicariously through stories told and distressing images seen on TV. So I know that I'm not alone, but abuse and trauma can manifest itself in different ways. Oftentimes with varying degrees of anxiety, not to mention other symptoms of distress. And so, in my family, one of the many ways that this has shown up is hoarding. There was a fear about not having what you needed if the occasion called for it. It being anything from excessive tools, construction materials, old papers, extra clothes and food, and so on. In some cases, it became excessive, where it was hard to walk inside and outside the house. In others, they went to the other extreme and excessively cleaned to make sure that only what is being used is accessible and present. And then there were those of us in between, where hoarding was a hidden secret, masked by excessive purchases to fulfill a passion, or having excessive hobbies, such as collecting and fixing cars, building things for other people, or being the handyman. In my case, one of the ways that it showed up in my life was with my arts and crafts. I collected things for scrapbooks, art projects, and other crafty things that I would create for other people in efforts to please them. I hardly ever made the time to work on these things for myself. It became my secret art room, and it would fill up with craft tools, colored papers, magazines, pieces of leftover ribbon, and other crafts and ideas that I had hoped I would one day make the time for. Dreams of more time, really. I was embarrassed by my messy room, so we often kept the door shut when visitors came, and really, the door was kept shut most days than not. After my divorce, I had to downsize. I voluntarily let go of the things that I thought I would never let go of, things that I had given emotional value to, things that I thought I would grow old with. This new chapter was the motivation for change. I entertained the idea that I would plan to leave the country to start the next chapter of my life, and traveling light seemed easier. The less I had, the better off I would be. But leaving the country was just another plan that I started and didn't finish. Instead, I chose another path that led me down another path and another path after that. So here I am, living on my own for the first time in my life in a new city, and balancing my home and work life on my own with a new routine that I'm trying to get used to. Now add that to my tendency to space out, getting easily distracted, starting things only to not finish them or change them along the way because I got bored. My many failed attempts to complete so much in one sitting. Here I am, sitting in the middle of it all. Now it's possible that all of these tendencies could have stemmed from trauma, but behaviors serve a purpose, which means they were useful at some point. The moment that behaviors stop serving their purpose and possibly become problematic, it just means it's time for a change. Fortunately, I know where I am in my cycle of change. For those of you that don't know, the cycle of change was created by Dr. James Prochaska and Dr. Carlo Di Clemente, and they say that there are different stages within this cycle that we have to work through. However, I choose to view these stages as individual cycles, because the word stages gives the illusion that once you pass a stage, you don't go back to it. But the reality is, for every movement forward, there is a step back. At least, that's what I witnessed when I worked with my clients, what I experienced through my own healing journey, and really what I see when I look at life. And it makes sense if you look at life from a bigger lens. Our history shows us that we move forward and then take steps back before we move forward again. Life is not linear. Life is full of cycles. We move from one side to the other and then back again. That's not including all of the other factors that contribute to unique experiences, unexpected life events, for example, that throw us off our path and onto a new one, or cultural and societal barriers to push through. Look at how our policies have evolved. Look at how we walk and take steps, one foot forward while the other foot moves back, only for it to move forward once again. I know where I am in my process. I'm not where I used to be, and that brings me relief. I look around, and it's not so bad as it used to be. I no longer see fear, lack, shame, nor embarrassment towards myself nor my family. I no longer resent cooking, cleaning, and caretaking. I've learned and understood that for some people, they like it more than others. I've embraced the joy in doing it, not because it is expected of me, but because I enjoy doing the things that are for my well-being. What I see is abundance, patience, and hope. I am grateful for having so much to filter through. I asked for more time, and now I have all of the time in the world. I asked for creative inspiration, and I continue to have an abundance of ideas for projects to flow through me, and even though I start things and later come back to them, what matters is that I do come back to them. I am taking small steps every day towards getting better at finishing what I start. I am more patient with myself and my process, and I am grateful to be able to have the means to purchase things over time and then let go of them with less distress because I know that more will come. I am getting better at managing the continued flow of abundance that comes to me and flows through me versus letting it take over me. I understand why I am here, and I understand that with each generation, this particular cycle will eventually break. This cycle will break with me. It is breaking with me. I am setting myself free. My name is Yubi, and this is my transformed truth. Thank you for watching You Becoming Healed, where I model and teach you how to own and transform your truth for healing. Don't forget to check out my podcast titled Becoming Real, Real Affirmations for Real Situations that posts every Wednesday at 12 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Click the link below to find me on your favorite podcast app. Remember that you are always in the process of becoming, so if something doesn't work out, you can always change your mind. Until next time.